Alright, be honest, when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Probably when one got stuck in your car's cup holder, right? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, specifically, a 2060 Lincoln penny, could be worth $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard me right. That little copper-colored coin you barely give a second thought to might just be a hidden. That's not even that old. But that's the crazy part, modern coins can be worth big money if they have the right errors and rarity factors. So before you toss your spare change into that take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station, you might want to check what you're holding. Today, we're going deep into the 2060 penny mystery, why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay over $1 million for it. And stick around till the end, because I've got a personal story about the time I thought I found a rare penny, only to be totally disappointed. It involves a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and a very confused grocery store cashier. Let's get into it. Body, what's so special about the 2060 Lincoln penny? Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2060 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is what the little d under the date stands for. At first glance, it looks just like every other Lincoln penny, good ol' Abe on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, but here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies aren't just any ordinary coins, they have minting errors and rare variations that make them super. If Lincoln's face or the lettering on the coin looks slightly doubled, congratulations, you might have a rare double die error. Think of it like an accidental coin selfie where the image overlaps itself. Some 2060 pennies were misaligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or pushed to one side. It's like when you try to take a picture, but your thumb is in the way. Over time, the minting dies wear down, creating cracks, raised lines, or little extra blobs of metal on the coin. If your penny has some weird bumps that don't belong, don't clean it. You might have something valuable. This is a big one. Some 2060 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal, making them super rare. If your penny is lighter or heavier than normal, get it checked out. Why is it worth $1.1 million? So, why would anyone spend over $1 million on a 2006 penny? Well, there are only a tiny number of these error coins exist. The fewer there are, the more collectors are willing to pay. It's basic supply, just like why my favorite pizza place is always out of the good toppings. 70, perfect condition, are insanely valuable. If your penny looks like it just came fresh from the mint with no scratches, dents, or wear, it could be a jackpot. When rare coins go up for auction, collectors battle it out with their wallets. The highest recorded sale for a 2006 error penny? A mind-blowing $1.1 million. How to check if you have a valuable 2060 penny? Alright, now that I've got you all excited, let's talk about how to check your 2060 pennies. Here's what you need to do. It should be just below the year 2006. If AQ superscript 1 no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia, which isn't the rare one we're after today. Hold the coin under a bright light and check for doubling on the letters or Lincoln's profile. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, you might have a rare planchet error. Some errors are super tiny, so you'll need a close-up look. I once spent 30 minutes inspecting a penny with my phone flashlight. Turns out, I was just staring at a piece of lint. If you think you have something valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and determine its worth. The penny that wasn't. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. I was at the grocery store, digging through my pocket for change, when I saw a 2060 penny with what looked like a weird bump on the surface. I was already picturing myself on the cover of Rare Coin Collectors Monthly. So, I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and analyzed every inch of the coin. I even weighed it. After 30 minutes of pure excitement, I finally realized the horrible truth: it wasn't an error. It was just a regular penny with a tiny piece of dried gum stuck to it. The mystery of the 2060 Lincoln penny worth $1.1 million. It just goes to show that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be found. So next time you get a handful of change, don't ignore those pennies. They might be worth way more than a cent. If you do find something interesting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. And before you go, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe for more rare coin tips, money-making strategies, and crazy coin discoveries. Who knows? The next time you check your change, you could be a millionaire. Hey, coin lovers and curious minds. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? And I don't mean a quick glance before tossing it in your cup holder, I mean really looked at it. If you're like most people, probably never. Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins sitting in your pocket could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? That's right, a 2019 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has sold for over $1 million. And guess what? These rare pennies are still out there, hiding in plain sight. Today, I'm going to break it all down for you. What makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are going absolutely bonkers over it. And stick around to the end because I've got a hilarious and slightly embarrassing personal story about how I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be valuable. Spoiler alert, I learned my lesson the hard way. Alright, grab your spare change and get ready, because this might just be the most profitable YouTube video you've ever watched. At first glance, this penny looks just like any other modern Lincoln cent. You've got Honest Abe's iconic profile on the front, and the Union shield on the back. But the key detail that makes this coin incredibly valuable is what's missing. If you look closely at most pennies, you'll see a tiny letter under the year, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or nothing for Philadelphia. But here's the twist, the 2019 penny should have had a mint mark, but due to a minting error, some were struck without one. And that tiny mistake turned these pennies into collector's gold. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so the mint forgot to stamp a letter on the coin, big deal. But in the world of coin collecting, minting errors like this are extremely rare and highly sought after. Here's why this particular penny is making waves. The US Mint produces billions of pennies every year, but only a handful of 2019 no mint mark pennies exist. The highest graded, like an MS-70, Mint State 70, which is literally flawless, are the ones selling for big money. The coin market is like a high-stakes game of Pokemon cards. The rarer the item, the more collectors will fight to own it, driving the price through the roof. The most expensive one? A 2019 no mint mark penny graded as MS-70 sold for an eye-watering $1.2 million. That's enough to buy a house, a luxury car, and still have enough left for an all-you-can-eat buffet for the next 10 years, alright? So now you're probably itching to check every penny you own, right? Here's what to look for. It must be a 2019 penny. No older, no newer. A normal 2019 penny should have a D or S. If yours is completely blank where the mint mark should be, you might have struck gold. The better the shape, the more it's worth. If it looks shiny and flawless, you've hit the jackpot. Some mint errors are super tiny, so checking closely can make all the difference. If you think you found one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and value. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin like a total amateur. A while back, I was at a coffee shop and got some change back from my order. Normally, I just shove the coins in my pocket and forget about them, but for some reason, I glanced at the pennies. One looked a little different, shinier, newer. But I was in a rush, so I tossed it into the tip jar and went about my day. Later that night, I saw a post online about valuable modern pennies, and guess what? The coin I had casually tossed away looked exactly like the rare one in the post. I literally drove back to the coffee shop the next morning, hoping the penny was still. It wasn't. Some lucky barista might have unknowingly walked away with a small fortune, and I walked away with a valuable lesson. Always check your change before giving it away. The 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth up to $1.2 million. It's proof that valuable coins are still floating around in everyday circulation, just waiting for someone lucky enough to find them, and now it's your turn. Go check your change, dig through your coin jars, raid your piggy banks, because that little penny could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hit that like button and subscribe. I post regular videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn pocket change into big money. And if you ever find a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I love hearing your success stories. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Have you ever picked up a penny, glanced at it, and thought, meh, just another 1-cent piece? Well, what if I told you that one of those tiny copper coins could be worth $1.3 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million for a 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Who's paying that kind of money for a coin I probably have under my couch? But hold on, because today, we're going on a wild ride through the fascinating world of rare coins, and by the end of this video, you'll be double-checking every single penny in your pockets, car cup holder, And yes, even that jar of loose change gathering dust in the kitchen. We're diving into what makes this 1984 no-mint mark penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to drop serious cash on a coin that most people ignore. And trust me, I've been there, except my best coin find was a crusty old nickel that smelled like pocket lint and broken dreams. Oh, and stick around till the end, because I'm going to share a crazy story about how someone accidentally discovered one of these rare pennies in the most unexpected place. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me, but I wish it was. Alright, let's get into it, because if you have one of these pennies, you might be richer than you think. At first glance, the 1984 Lincoln penny looks just like any other. You've got Abraham Lincoln on the front, and on the back, you've got the Lincoln Memorial. It's a design we've all seen a million times. But the key to its value? It's missing something important. The mint mark. Normally, pennies minted in 1984 should have a small letter indicating where they were made. If it's from Denver, it has a D. If it's from San Francisco, it has an S. But the ones made in Philadelphia? They usually don't have a mint mark. So what's the big deal? Well, some of these no mint mark pennies have serious errors and rare features, making them incredibly valuable. This is the biggest reason why some 1984 pennies are worth a fortune. If you look closely at Lincoln's ear, you might notice a second ear slightly behind it. It's like Lincoln suddenly grew an extra ear overnight. This error happened because of a misalignment during the minting process, and collectors go absolutely crazy for it. If you find meaning no scratches, no wear, and still shiny, it can be worth thousands, even without an error. The highest graded ones? Those are the million-dollar winners. Some 1984 no-mint mark pennies were struck incorrectly, meaning the design is off-center. These errors are rare and highly collectible, adding even more value to an already special coin. Alright, so how does a 1-cent coin skyrocket to $1.3 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. First, not many of these error coins exist, and collectors love rare finds. The fewer there are, the higher the value. Second, coins in mint state, MS68 or higher, are incredibly rare. A regular 1984 penny is a regular penny. But one in pristine condition with the doubled ear error? That's the jackpot. Third, once a rare coin goes to auction, collectors battle it out, driving the price into insane territory. And that's exactly what happened with this one, a high-grade, doubled-ear 1984 penny sold for a mind-blowing $1.30 million. Imagine that. A coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk turned someone into a millionaire. Let that sink in. Okay, now that I've got your attention, let's talk about how you can check if you have one of these valuable pennies hiding in your loose change. If it says 1984 and doesn't have a mint mark, you're off to a good start. Grab a magnifying glass, or use your phone camera and zoom in. If you see a second ear slightly behind the first, you may have a winner. The less wear and tear, the more valuable it is. If it looks like it was minted yesterday, you might be holding a rare gem. Some rare error pennies have different metal compositions, so if your penny feels different from others, it's worth checking. If you think you have a rare one, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and certify its value. Get ready for some life-changing news, because you could be sitting on $1 million treasure now. Let me tell you a story that will make you want to dig through your old piggy bank right now. Was doing laundry one day when he found an old penny at the bottom of the washing machine. He was about to toss it into a jar with the rest of his change, but something told him to take a closer look. He googled 1984 penny errors, grabbed a magnifying glass, and nearly fell over when he saw that Lincoln had 2 ears. He sent it off for grading, and a few months later, it went to auction and sold for over $1 million. He literally washed $1 million coin with his socks. Meanwhile, I'm over here checking every penny I find and coming up with nothing but lint. Alright, folks, that's the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.3 million. It's proof that valuable coins are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. So next time you get a handful of change, don't ignore those pennies. One of them could make you rich. And if you do find something interesting, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It helps more people find valuable coins. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on coin collecting, rare pennies, and strategies to turn spare change into serious cash. Alright, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? No, I mean really looked at it. Probably never, right? Most of us toss them in a jar, drop them in the couch cushions, or leave them behind at the gas station like they're worthless. But what if I told you that one tiny, ordinary-looking penny, a 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. 1 cent turning into over $1 million. Now that's what I call a serious return on investment. Imagine paying for your morning coffee, getting some change back, and later realizing that one of those pennies could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Sounds crazy, right? But it's absolutely true today. We're diving deep into what makes this 1988 penny so valuable, how to identify one, and most importantly, how you can find one in your change. And stick around till the end because I'll share a hilarious story of how I almost threw away a potentially valuable penny like an absolute fool. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. And now, at first glance, the 1988 Lincoln penny looks just like every other penny you've ever seen. It has good old Abraham Lincoln's face on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that classic copper color we all know. Some of these 1988 pennies are missing a mint mark, meaning there's no little letter under the date. This tiny detail makes all the difference in value. Usually, pennies have a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But some 1988 pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark, making them incredibly rare. And when something is rare in the coin collecting world, collectors start throwing ridiculous amounts of money at it. The highest known sale for a perfect condition 1988 no mint mark penny, a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. That's enough to make you look twice at every single penny you come across from now on. Great question. The value of a coin depends on a few key things. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. The US Mint didn't intend to make these error coins, so only a handful exist. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless. The best preserved 1988 no mint mark pennies get the highest price. When a rare coin makes headlines, collectors go into full-on bidding war mode. That's how we get prices skyrocketing into the millions. Some of these collectors have deep pockets. They'll spend more on a penny than most of us make in a lifetime, alright? So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have this $1 million penny? Here's what to do: a flip over any 1988 penny you find. If there's a D or P under the year, it's just a regular penny. But if there's no mint mark, you might be holding a jackpot. Some of these rare pennies also have a subtle error in the design where the spacing or font looks slightly off. Grab a magnifying glass and check carefully. A shiny, well-preserved penny is worth more than a scratched-up, pocket-worn one. If your coin looks perfect, it's time to get excited. Some rare pennies have a slightly different metal composition. If it feels just a little heavier or lighter than normal, it could be valuable. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its value, and then you can start dreaming about how you'll spend that $1.40 million. Alright, let me tell you how I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was at a burger joint, paid for my meal, and got some change back. Being the coin nerd that I am, I took a quick look and noticed a 1988 penny with no mint mark. My heart started racing. Could this be it? Could I finally be rich? But then, I did something stupid. I was in a rush, so I tossed the penny into my car's cup holder and completely forgot about it. Fast forward a few months, one hot summer day, I was cleaning my car, saw that penny, and almost threw it in a Coinstar machine with a bunch of other change. At the last second, I decided to check it again, just in case. I pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and my stomach dropped. The penny looked legit. Long story short, I sent it in for grading, hoping for $1 million payday. Turns out, it was a regular 1988 penny with some weird toning, worth exactly 1 cent. Talk about heartbreak, but let me tell you, ever since that day, I check every single penny I get. And you should too. The incredible story of the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.4 million. These rare gems are still out there, hiding in pocket change, bankrolls, and forgotten jars of coins. Never overlook your spare change. That little penny sitting on your dresser could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire retirement fund. If you learned something new today, smash the like button, it really helps the channel grow. And if you want to hear about more rare and valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Maybe you've got a rare one sitting in your collection right now. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and treasure seekers. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this thing is basically worthless? Well, what if I told you that one specific 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? That's right, we're talking about a single, regular-looking penny that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. That's not even that old. And you're right. It's not some ancient relic from the 1800s, it's a modern penny, and that means you could actually find one in your pocket, in a jar of spare change, or even stuck in your car's cup holder right now. Today, we're diving deep into the wild world of the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can turn your spare change into serious cash. And stick around till the end, because I'm going to share a hilarious, and slightly painful, personal story about a time I unknowingly let go of a valuable penny, and I still regret it to this day. So grab your change jar, a magnifying glass, and let's find that $1 million penny. At first glance, the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny looks just like every other penny from your childhood piggy bank. It features Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's where things get crazy. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark, making them insanely rare and highly desirable to collectors. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, do. But in 1987, something strange happened. Certain batches of pennies intended to have a mint mark left the mint without one. This wasn't supposed to happen, and that's exactly why they're so valuable today. You might be wondering, okay, but why would someone pay over $1 million for a penny? Great question. Here's why this particular penny is worth so much. Error coins like this are extremely uncommon. The fewer that exist, the more valuable they become. If a 1987 no mint mark penny is found in mint condition, MS-70 grade, meaning it looks fresh off the press, collectors go crazy for it. Coin collectors are always searching for rare finds, and there are in this case, 1.5 for the best specimens. Once a rare coin hits the market, wealthy collectors start bidding against each other, driving the price into the stratosphere. It's like eBay, but with way higher stakes. The most expensive 1987 no mint mark penny ever sold at auction? $1.5 million. That's enough to buy a luxury sports car, take a year-long vacation, or, let's be real, buy an entire lifetime supply of pizza. Alright, now the fun part: how do you know if you have a valuable 1987 no mint mark penny? Here's what to look for. Flip the penny over and check under the date 1987. If there's a little D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, it's not the rare one we're after. If there's no mint mark at all, you're in the game. The best finds are in mint condition with no scratches, dings, or wear. If yours looks brand new, it could be a jackpot. Some error pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they might weigh slightly more or less than normal. A standard penny weighs 2.5 grams, so if yours is off, that's a good sign. If you think you've found a special one, send it to PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, for an official appraisal. Imagine finding a 1987 penny in your piggy bank, sending it for grading, and getting a call that says, "Congratulations, your penny is worth $1.5 million. That's better than winning, because you never even had to buy a ticket. The penny that got away. Now, let me tell you about a painful personal experience that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some pennies back as change. Being the coin nerd that I am, I always quickly glance at my change before tossing it in my pocket. That day, I saw a 1987 penny with no mint mark. At the time, I had heard about rare error pennies, but I figured, it's probably nothing. So what did I do? I spent it. I dropped it right into the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the counter and walked away. Fast forward a few months, and I learned about the $1 million 1987 no mint mark penny. I immediately froze in horror. What if the one I had casually tossed aside was the penny? Did some lucky person come along, grab that penny, and unknowingly walk away with a small fortune? Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the crazy story of the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million. These rare pennies are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. So the next time you find a penny in your couch cushions, don't ignore it. It could literally make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and strategies to make money from pocket change, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video. It could help you find the next $1 million coin. Alright, let's be real. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Like, really looked at it? Most of us toss them in a jar, leave them in the car cup holder, or, if you're like me, find them mysteriously stuck to the bottom of your shoe. But what if I told you that one ordinary looking 2016 Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yep, you heard that right, over $1 million for a single penny. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house, stick with me because today, we're going to break down why this specific coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and what to do if you actually find one. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your pocket change like a detective on a high-stakes case. And I'll be sharing a crazy story about someone who found a rare penny in the most unexpected way. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me, but I wish it was. At first glance, the 2016 D penny looks like your typical modern penny. It features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union shield on the back. Nothing fancy, right? But hidden among these pennies are some super rare error coins that collectors are going absolutely wild for. This means some elements of the coin, like Lincoln's face or the lettering, appear slightly doubled. It's kind of like when your phone camera glitches and takes a blurry picture, but instead of being annoying, it makes the penny worth a fortune. If your penny looks like it got stamped while it was trying to escape the minting press, you could have a rare off-center error. The more off-center it is, the higher the value. Some 2016 D pennies have visible cracks or raised lines due to worn-out minting dies. Think of it like a tiny scar on the coin that actually makes it more valuable instead of less. This is when a penny is struck on a blank meant for a different coin, like a dime or a foreign currency. These are incredibly rare but can fetch huge money at auctions. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. The US Mint doesn't make mistakes often, and when they do, they usually catch them before they go into circulation. Second, collectors love unique coins, and they'll pay serious money to own something no one else has. A third, when a rare coin hits the auction block, bidding wars can send prices skyrocketing. Imagine two wealthy collectors battling it out. It's basically like $1 million game of who wants it more? The record-breaking 2016 D penny sold for $1.6 million because it had multiple errors and was graded in near-perfect condition. A single flaw could have dropped the value significantly, so condition matters a lot. The letter D is located just below the year 2016. If your penny doesn't have a mint mark, it came from Philadelphia, not the jackpot. We're after a look closely for any doubling, misaligned strikes, cracks, or anything that seems off. Some errors are super subtle, and you don't want to miss $1 million detail. A normal 2016 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. If you find something interesting, don't clean the coin. Cleaning it can destroy its value. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC to determine its worth. Alright, let me tell you about a guy named Alex. Alex wasn't a coin collector, just a regular guy grabbing a coffee before work. He paid in cash, got some change back, and almost threw the pennies into the tip jar. But one of them looked weird. It had a slight doubling on the date. Curious, he took it home, did some research, and realized he might have something valuable. He sent it off to be graded, and guess what? It turned out to be a rare 2016 D double die penny. A few months later, it sold at auction for over $1 million. The guy was just trying to buy coffee, and he walked away with enough money to never work again. Always check your change. You never know when your next cup of coffee could come with a side of life-changing cash. The 2016 D Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.6 million. These coins are still out there, just waiting to be found. Before you toss your pennies aside, take a second to check them. It only takes a few minutes, and who knows, you might be holding onto a small fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hit that like button, it really helps. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on coin collecting, rare finds, and strategies to turn spare change into serious money. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, expecting to find a couple of pennies, maybe a gum wrapper, and probably some mystery lint. But instead, you pull out a 1993 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Looks ordinary, right? Well, what if I told you that penny could be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, a single, everyday penny, $1.7 million. I know. It sounds insane. You're probably thinking, wait, isn't that just a regular OL penny? And you're not wrong, most 1993 pennies are just worth, well, 1 cent. But some have a rare error, a little known detail that makes them one of the most valuable modern pennies ever discovered. So today, we're diving deep into what makes the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special, how to spot one, and what to do if you find one in your change. And stick around because I've got a hilarious personal story about how I once thought I hit the jackpot only to be completely, utterly, embarrassingly wrong. Okay, so let's break this down. Normally, if a penny doesn't have a mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. No big deal, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. In 1993, a rare batch of pennies was accidentally struck without a mint mark. But here's the kicker: these weren't supposed to exist. The Philadelphia Mint had transitioned to ensuring all their coins were properly marked, but somehow, a small number of high-quality, error-free no-mint mark pennies slipped through the cracks. This makes them ridiculously rare, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals big money. The fewer there are, the higher the value climbs, and right now, the most pristine example of this coin is worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare treasures? Here's what to look for. Flip the penny over and check under the date 1993. If there's no D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, you might have a Philadelphia coin. But here's the trick: not all 1993 no mint mark pennies are valuable, just the rare error versions. The valuable versions are usually in near perfect condition, with strong edges and a deep, clear strike. If yours looks like it's been chewed on by a squirrel, it's probably just a regular penny. Some error versions have a slightly different metal composition, giving them a unique shine or tone. If your penny looks slightly off, that's a good sign. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams, but some error versions might be slightly heavier or lighter due to an issue at the mint. Grab a scale and check. Only a few of these error pennies have been found, and collectors go nuts for rare pieces. It's like finding a golden ticket except instead of meeting Willy Wonka, you meet a coin dealer with a fat check. The most expensive versions are graded MS67 or higher, meaning they are basically flawless. A penny in this condition looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday. When one of these pennies shows up at an auction, bidding wars explode. Collectors and investors compete to own a piece of history, and before you know it, the price skyrockets. A tiny copper coin, worth more than a mansion. Alright, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot with a rare penny, only to end up with an epic fail. So, one day I was at the grocery store, and I got a handful of pennies back in change. I immediately noticed one without a mint mark. My heart started pounding. Could this be it? Could I finally be rich? I rushed home, grabbed a magnifying glass, and inspected every single detail. No mint mark? Check. Good condition? Check. Slightly different color? Check. I was already picturing my dream vacation, buying a fancy car, maybe even quitting my job. It was just a regular 1993 penny. Worth a whole 1 cent. 1 single cent. Always verify before celebrating. But hey, that's the fun of coin collecting. The thrill of the hunt, the what-if moments, the constant hope that your next penny could be the big one. Alright, folks, that's the wild story of the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million. If you haven't already, start checking your change because these valuable pennies are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. Maybe next time you buy a coffee or pay for parking, you'll get handed a $1 million penny without even realizing it. And when you do, make sure to send me a picture because I still need to find mine. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, it helps more people find valuable coins. And if you want more coin collecting tips, strategies, and stories, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Alright, listen up, because this might be the most important thing you hear all day. You know those pennies you mindlessly toss into your cup holder, couch cushions, or, let's be honest, straight into the tip jar without a second thought? Well, one of those little copper coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yeah, that's right, a single 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny has sold for nearly $2 million. Yep. And the crazy part? Most people wouldn't even recognize it if they had it sitting in their pocket right now. But don't worry, that's why you're here, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for so you don't accidentally spend your fortune on a pack of gum. What makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and why collectors are losing their minds over it. Plus, I'll share a wild story about someone who actually found one of these rare pennies in the most unexpected place. Let's just say it's a reminder to never underestimate loose change. So grab your coin jar, a magnifying glass, and maybe a snack, because this is going to be a fun ride. At first glance, the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny looks like any other modern penny. It's got Abe Lincoln's familiar face on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So why is this particular year causing a frenzy in the collecting world? It all comes down to rarity and minting errors, specifically, one very rare mistake that makes a small number of these coins worth life-changing money. The key features that make it valuable, as the name suggests, this penny doesn't have a mint mark under the year 1998. Normally, Philadelphia minted pennies also lack a mint mark, so that alone isn't a big deal. But when combined with other rare factors, it turns into something special. This is where things get interesting. On the back of the penny, take a close look at the words America. If the letters A and M are spaced farther apart than usual, you've hit the jackpot. This white AM error was supposed to be on proof coins only, but a few mistakenly ended up in circulation. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A 1998 no mint mark penny with the white AM error in near perfect condition, MS68 or higher, can go for big bucks at auction. If yours looks like it survived the apocalypse, it's still cool, but probably not a millionaire maker. And now, let's talk about that insane $1.8 million price tag. Why would anyone pay that much for a single penny? Only a handful of 1998 pennies with the white AM error exist, and collectors love rare finds. Think of it like a super exclusive sneaker drop, except instead of limited edition Jordans, it's a one-of-a-kind coin. The more rare a coin is, the more intense the bidding war. Wealthy collectors go all out for high-grade versions of these error coins, and when two or more determined buyers battle it out at auction, the price can skyrocket. The 1998 white AM error is a fascinating mistake in US minting history, making it a must-have for serious collectors. And when demand is high, prices explode. Alright, now that we've hyped up this coin, let's make sure you know how to spot one. Here's a quick step-by-step guide. It has to be a 1998 penny with NO mint mark. If there's a D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, sorry, that's not the one. Grab a magnifying glass and focus on the A and M in America. If they are touching or very close together, it's the common version. But if there's a wide gap between the A and M, you just hit the jackpot. If you think you have one, send it to PCGS or NGC, two of the top coin grading services. They'll certify its authenticity and grade its condition, which is crucial for determining value. Now, let me tell you about a guy named Kevin. Kevin was a regular dude, not some expert coin collector. One day, he was at a diner eating pancakes, because pancakes make everything better. When he got his change back, he almost threw the pennies into the tip jar without even looking. But at the last second, something made him pause. One of the pennies looked off. He didn't know much about coins, but he had seen a video, probably like this one, about the 1998 white AM penny. So he took it home, Googled some pictures, and sure enough, it was the real deal. Fast forward a few months, and after getting it graded, he sold it for over $1 million at auction. Imagine that, going from a $5 diner breakfast to a millionaire just because he took a second to check his change. Meanwhile, I'm over here still digging through my couch cushions and coming up empty. But hey, hope is alive. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. It's proof that valuable coins are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. Next time you get change at the store, don't ignore those pennies. Check them carefully, because you never know, you might be sitting on a small fortune. And if you find something cool, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, it helps spread the word to more collectors. And if you want to learn more tips on valuable coins and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin hunters.